Hey everyone, this is Tierney and I'm back with another video of the review of Beyond the Gates, which is a new soap opera like series on CBS with looks like a predominantly African American cast. So the show begins with a car driving, which is I think is Dr. Nicole, which is a Dupree, one of the Dupree daughters, and her and Mama Dupree show up at this, I guess, country club for breakfast, and they discuss the other daughter, Danny, and her marriage to a man who she is divorced from, and he basically had an affair with the mistress, and so now they're divorced. And they say how they thought she would be over it by now, and she's not. Um, which I guess is hard when you put all you have into a man, and then you get divorced. Then we see Danny, I guess, at home, and she receives a wedding invitation. Why is her ex-husband and the mistress inviting her to their wedding? I have no idea, but this is what's going on. So Danny ends up throwing a a coffee cup and it shatters on the floor. And then I guess her friend walks in, which is a realtor, and she kind of trying to talk to Danny about it, and Danny's not really wanting to hear it. So from there we see Mama Dupree and Nicole talking about talking about Danny and her husband Bill, ex-husband Bill, basically saying that I don't want to say he was like a trickster, but he presented himself to be one way, but when he got in good with the family, he kind of like changed and got so he can, I guess, get in good with them and their prestige and whatnot as a family. And they also said how Danny got good, quit her job, became like a devoted housewife and mother. And now that they are divorced, it's like she doesn't have no direction of where she should go. And Mama Dupree mentioned how her husband, allowed her to keep her career, let her be her own woman, while at the same time being his wife and whatnot. And I guess that's, maybe why Danny's so devastated, because she put all her eggs into one basket. And now that she is divorced, she doesn't really have anything, I guess, to fall back on, I'm guessing. Because if she's not taking this divorce well. And outside of the divorce, he is marrying the mistress. And so they I guess they like, why hasn't she gotten over it yet and all the type of stuff. Well, I guess, like I said, I guess because she put all her eggs to that one basket, she's just devastated. So, yeah, I think, and I'm glad that we're getting a more background on Danny and her relationship with her ex-husband. So now we learn that Danny was a former model, and her and Bill's daughter Chelsea is also a model now, and she is trying to launch her purse line. So Danny calls her to remind her of some photo shoot later on that day, and I guess she's concerned about her mom, because her mom, like I said, everyone knows that Danny, Danny is not over her marriage to Bill, and she's not taking it well. And so Chelsea brings up to her cousin that she doesn't want to like leave her mom hanging, so to speak, because her dad is getting remarried to the mistress at at some venue, and I guess Chelsea's stuck between a rock and a hard place. I guess between her mom and her dad, having to choose between the two of them, which is unfair. But it seems like she's close to her mom. At least in this episode, it seems that way because she's more concerned about her mom and her, I guess, well-being, about what she thinks about her dad. So now Danny shows up at the country club. Well, before then, we see Haley, the mistress, revealing that most people that her and Bill have invited to their wedding has declined or not responded. So now we see Danny walk into the area, and Haley makes a beeline towards her, wanting to have a conversation, and Danny's just like not having it, and she wants them to move on, be let bygones be bygones, and Danny kind of told her off like, you were an orphan, we brought you into our family, took care of you, and you repay us by basically stealing my husband. Like, no, get lost, basically. And it's like she doesn't understand why Danny's so angry with her. Like, you basically took her husband. Either you expect her and her family to be cool with you. Like, that's not how that works. Not even in like fantasy world, it's not how that works. So of course, Danny walks off pissed, which I would be as well. And I just don't understand why she thinks she can still be cool with the family. I don't get it. So from there we meet Bill at his law firm. I'm already pissed at him, so I'm not even gonna discuss him in this first video or for the first episode. Maybe next one I will. Moving on. So then we go back to what's her name? Oh my gosh, the mistress. And she decided she went to the house to pick up the keys. And so Bill and the mistress decided to move into the same neighborhood as Danny Dupree and her family. And the realtor told her, like, the Duprees run this, so people are going to bag them more so than bag you and Bill. So kind of like tread lightly. But she's like, everything going to be fine. And once they, I guess, get to know me, it's going to be fine. I don't think so. I think she's being very naive and gullible, especially since I'm sure everyone knows the backstory between her and Bill and Chelsea. So I don't really think the wives, especially the wives, are going to accept her. Like I say, they have husbands. So you took Danny's husband. What are you gonna do with my husband? So yeah, I think she's being a little naive, too naive at that. And very optimistic, which she should not be. So now we have been introduced to Vernon Dupree, which is Mom Dupree's husband. And we're introduced to the grandson, Martin. And Martin, I guess he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his future. So he and Vernon had a little small discussion about that. Now back to Vernon and with his grandson, Martin. We see this woman named Betty or Betsy come up, and she starts praising Vernon for his, I guess, civil rights work back in the day. And then she says, refers him as senator, so he's also a senator now. And they kind of chat a little bit about how Vernon has helped, the community and now that he's a senator, uh, it was basically well deserved because he's a community type of man. And he actually says it to his grandson Martin that being out in the community is what helps keep voters and have long-term voters. So from there we go to the cheater's office. And this man walks in, tells him how his son has a drug problem, and he broke into someone's home and robbed them, and he wants the cheater's help. He's like, I can do better than that. I can get it completely erased. Only thing is, it's gonna cost you. Basically, he trying to, I guess, earn a favor in the future. And I guess this is why Mama Dupree don't like him, because I don't like him now, because like, you seem like you're a shyster. You the type of person, he seems like he's the type of person that do something for you, but you gotta do something for him whenever he asks, whenever he wants it to. And that's the vibe I'm getting from this cheater. Yeah. Anyway, so back at the club, Danny's there still venting about how she wants revenge, basically. And I mean, I don't understand why. It's like, to me, like the mom and the sister Nicole, they try to like, just get over it, just get over it. But I understand both sides, because the more Danny harps on it, the longer she's gonna take her to get over him and get over what happened between him and the mistress. But at the same time, she has a right to be upset and mad, because that was her husband, and her friend, someone that her family took her husband from her. So I understand both sides. But I do agree with the mom more that the longer she dwells on it, the further she's going to spiral. And hopefully, you know, Danny can just like get some help before she goes too deep. So back at the country club, Vernon and Martin show up, and they walk in on Danny, Mama Dupree, and Nicole talking about the ex cheater. And she's like, I don't know how to get over it. He was my life since I was like 19. He was my life. And we were supposed to be together forever. That was a pact. So now that the pact is over because of him, she doesn't really know how to move on. Because I guess he was like her everything, so to speak. So she doesn't know how to move on. And it's like, just get over it. Like, just get over it, but she can't. And so then, of course, Daddy Vernon came in and spoke to her. And that seemed to help her. So I'm guessing maybe Danny is the daddy's girl. So when he spoke to her and told her, you know, I guess he told her what she needed to hear, just like the Mama Dupree and her sister Nicole. But I guess the dad said it in a way that was calming and reassuring. That yes, he broke the deal. So now you just have to get yourself to move on, because this is not healthy for yourself. He basically said the same thing Nicole said and Mama Dupree said, but I guess his tone was more loving or more compassionate, so she was able to accept it. And even her nephew Martin was like, he was a douchebag, basically. He didn't deserve you. He's trash. Let it go, because he don't deserve you. So she said she's going to move on, and she's going to make an effort. So now the camera spans to, I guess, to another area of the restaurant, where we see Chelsea and Kat. Kat is the cousin. That's her name. Chelsea is one of Danny's daughters. So they sitting back in the back watching, and they see their mom laughing. And they say, Granny is the only one who can really make mom laugh, just take her mind off of things. And he does. So then the other sister comes. I guess she's the one who's married to the police officer. She comes, and they all decide to go over and I guess join in the festivities with the parents and the grandparents. So I love the fact that the cousins are like best friends. I love that. I didn't really grow up close to any of my cousins like that, so I can't say that. But I love to see that, young girls or young women who are just close like that. And I'm trying to see if maybe the other sister is as close as they are, but those sisters that they're like close, like they're best friends. Like they did say they were best friends, but I want the other sister like the third best friend.